Hello, pumpkins, and
Hello.
welcome back to another episode of the Creepy Pie with
This
Kai.
pie is so creepy.
This pie is
Yes,
so
I'm
creepy,
here.
it's so scary. Today we'll be covering the story called The Day the Ropes Fell from the Sky. Because y'all voted for
Yes.
it. I'll actually pop like an image up right now of the votes. And I'll show y'all that this is the one that y'all picked. So we're excited to cover it. We also, for once, actually made the background fit the theme.
hmm
And Kai is, for once, showing off the painting I made him.
This way, this. Here
It's
it is.
confusing, isn't it?
Ta-da!
It's confusing, I know. Same, I know. But
The
before we get
day the
started,
ropes will start. Yeah.
please like and subscribe. It would mean the world to us. Thank you all so much for the support. Please go get yourself a drink. You deserve it. You're amazing. Go get yourself a snack as well. Take care of yourself. You need to, girl. Or gal. Or gentle people.
Just gentle people.
Just gentle
It works.
people. Lovely people as well. What are you drinking, Kai?
I'm having some
I
very defined
having.
tastes. It's called tap water.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful, guys. I'm
I think
also
it's a bit
having
more
tap
than a
water,
liter.
but mine has a little sprinkle of lemon juice. Just to
Fancy.
like enhance that little flavor of tap water.
That secret umami flavor.
What kind of flavor?
Umami. What's the? You know, like the secret flavor.
I tasted something else. No, I didn't. I didn't
Okay.
taste something else. I heard something else.
Yeah, you
Sorry.
tasted something else.
No, I
I'm
didn't.
scared. So ropes fell out of the sky today. What do you think happened?
Before I get started, by the way, I have literally been watching Papa Meat on repeat because of you. Because I have. Okay, sorry. We're only 3 minutes in. I can talk a little bit. I have been thinking about like watching more positive content lately. Because
Nice.
I have. I used to watch so many drama videos, just consume it, and it was stressing me out, if I'm honest. And I like to create like really non-dramatic videos on my channel. Just
Mhm.
mostly just like positive, except for this, I guess. But this is still positive to
Yeah.
me. And I thought, why not just do that for myself as well? Because you put me onto like Papa Meat and stuff, I have just been non-stop watching him, and I'm so happy.
That's amazing. I don't think it's that weird if you are consuming stuff which isn't directly in line with your own immediate, I don't
It is.
know,
Listen,
the
no,
way you
it's.
present yourself. But because I also just consume a lot of weird stuff, and
Kai, you're
that is
weird.
how yeah. Okay, I am weird, but I don't.
Kai, you
It's like
literally fit the category of content you consume. I promise you.
okay,
I
maybe
have
okay,
seen
maybe
you
you are
show
right.
me videos, and I'm like, yeah, that's literally Kai. Like, I have
Um,
videos on my TikTok that are so unhinged. The only person I can send them to is you, because I know you would relate.
Okay, maybe you're calling me out right now.
Oh, and Mirko.
Oh, I mean,
Love you.
you're just now getting all these people like, and you are weird, and you are a weirdo.
No, it's
It's
just us
amazing.
three, I think.
Yeah.
No,
probably.
but you can watch content that does not align with your normal, like
Of
what you
course.
make. But I
But
just
I think
noticed in
for
myself that it was
a
getting
good
like,
mindset.
yeah, it was getting toxic and kind of like
Mm.
weird. So I wanted to change that up. Also, Kai promised that if we actually reach 1K subscribers at some point, we'll get to
Here it
dress him
comes.
up. And y'all can leave
Yay.
characters in the comments of any characters that you want us to watch, like to make him. He could even dress up as me if y'all want to for like an entire video. We can just make him make a YouTube video.
Wouldn't be the first time, but
Imagine you
uh,
having to act like like me for an entire day.
oh, we are also like acting and stuff. It's not just.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna put it up.
Okay, so
Kidding.
I'll have to do like history lessons, or learn about the history of a person or hello?
I'll teach you my culture, the Pompey Pie
Yeah.
culture.
The pop.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be you, but otherwise it's gonna be like another person. I'm interested.
Me too. But it's been 5 minutes. How about we get into it?
Do we do this short ramble up front so we don't get demonetized in the first minute? Oh,
I'm not even
we have to
monetized
break
yet.
these
No,
codes.
I just
No, but
listen.
if
I enjoy just having like a little sit down to get people
I know.
like
I know.
climatized. Just like have a sit down, get them calm, get them into it,
Mhm.
make them vibe with us a little bit more, and then jump into it. So you can have like full focus once we actually start reading the story. And because we're still
Like-
personalities apart from just reading something, you know?
What? Since when? Oh wait, since always.
Since I just gave you one yesterday. Anyways, the sun had not
Yeah.
shone for
Crazy burn.
the sun had not shone on us for more than 10 summers. This carcass of a place, this barren, discolored, non-space, life shaken down to its last seed.
So I had a prediction just
Oh,
by
yeah.
the sound of the name of the story. Also, now I'm thinking, yeah, you are kind of right that I am as weird as the content I consume, because my thought was, what if the ropes weren't really like classical ropes, which the background is right now, but more like an umbilical cord? That
You
would be a
give
little
it-
bit crazy.
You're giving it your own interpretation, and that's great. That's what you would have
Yeah.
done. You would have made it gory.
I'm just guessing like these creepypastas. I don't know from when this story was written, but there was a time where these things were a little bit overly gory.
You want me to check when it
So-
was written?
Now I'm interested. Yeah.
Real quick. You want to hear my predictions?
Yeah.
It says estimated reading time 11 minutes. Not for us.
Nope.
I do not in this moment see a date.
Okay, so it has existed for an eternity.
Yeah, it just
That's
always
cool.
existed.
With internet came also this story.
Okay.
So we don't know who wrote it.
You want to hear my theories on what I think the
Yeah.
story will be? I feel like whenever there's anything with like skies and stuff and ropes, I feel like it's gonna be like an heaven thing. Because what we just read, it's
Oh.
like, oh, the sun doesn't shine and stuff like that. The fact that it's ropes literally coming from the sky, I think it's gonna be. Maybe it's hinting at like, oh, souls are being saved, people are being pulled up to the sky just to like cleanse their soul and like free them of the hell or save them, you know, the rapture and stuff like that.
Oh right.
Thing
That's
is,
interesting.
I feel like it's not gonna be salvation. I think people are gonna be tricked. I don't think
Yep.
the ropes are gonna lead to anything that's actually heavenly.
I mean, I wouldn't guess that creepypasta we were about to read was gonna be something like
Imagine it's just
beautiful,
be-
heavenly.
Imagine it's just being like, oh yeah, we have ropes here. They go up to heaven. Oh, we're in
Yeah.
heaven now. Goodbye, everybody. This was the
Imagine-
creepypasta.
Imagine this was a fan fiction of some very religious dude who was like, damn, I wish I could go up to heaven right now. You know what?
What would it look like?
The day the ropes fell from the sky, I climbed up
They're coming to pick me
at
up.
the end. Also, fun story time.
You went to heaven.
I have also
Fun story time. The day I went to heaven.
fun story time. Would you like to hear it?
I mean, we're just
Would you
11
guys
minutes
like to
in
hear?
anyway, so imagine me now cutting this out and you're just offended.
Yeah, okay, it could happen, but also you would be like misusing your power of editing, and I don't think that is nice. I think people are very interested in what I am about to
They
say.
are, they are.
Day of my graduation, we had like a laser game in the gym, and at the end, everybody was packing up stuff. But there were also like these ropes
Oh no.
in the gym.
I
Maybe
love
you have-
those.
you-
I used to have them as well. I love those.
It was amazing. You could swing
Yeah,
around.
you could
because
climb
it was like
them.
a parkour place. You could climb up them, like.
And you could slide
meters
down
in
them
the
and then
air.
just like take off the skin of your hands because you don't
Yeah,
need that anyways. But it's
it
fun.
feels as if I have already told you this, but
No, I'm relating here. I have the same
Oh, yeah.
childhood experience.
yeah, it was amazing. So you
It
climb
was.
up like meters high in the air until the top, and then you are like, wait a minute, I don't know the proper way to do this. Also, the power in my arms
It's
is
getting
dwindling.
Yeah.
It is done. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna try to climb down. Never mind. I slip, and then I burned off like all of the skin of my fingers, and I had months to recover from that.
I did that, but
So
like because I have no sense of pain, I just stuck with it.
yeah,
It was fun to me.
nice. Yeah, it was
It made me
fun for
feel
you.
alive.
I think, I think, I began sweating like for hours because just my body was like, this isn't very good.
I would
So
also at times just literally throw myself off.
throw off the ropes
Yeah,
or what?
just fall down to the floor.
Just because it has a nice sensation.
No, not because it has a nice. Also, I am not recommending anybody to do this.
No,
But I
please
was
don't do
just
this.
too
This is
lazy to
stupid.
walk down. There are also times where I would literally just purposefully, safely fall off the stairs because I would get down faster. But I could.
Okay.
I have fallen down so many times because I'm a real clumsy kid, right? Still
Uh-huh.
am. I have no sense of my surroundings. I have no sense of like how to do anything. So I have slipped down the stairs multiple times. There were times where there were specific stairs that I knew I could just like fall down on safely if I angled my body a certain way. I'd be
Okay.
good. There wouldn't even
I
be a
don't know how
bruise.
you have survived this earth.
Then my
until
parents
now.
actually got new new sets of stairs, and they
Oh,
had
I'll
these
do it
little
anyway.
iron bars attached to them to the edges. They would shred you like a cheese shredder.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
didn't, from that point on, I didn't do it on purpose anymore. But there were times where I would do it accidentally. That shit was bad.
Jeez.
That shit was awful. Like, I had to walk down the stairs bleeding from my foot, but also still be sick from the fact that I just fell down. Once upon a time, I even fell down the stairs while sleeping. Like, sleepwalking down the stairs.
Yeah. Okay. My
I
God.
didn't know there were gonna be stairs. In my sleepy brain, I was in my own room, and when you walk out of my own room, there's like a hallway, and then there's the bathroom. But I
So-
was actually sleeping for once on the attic, in the attic. And when you walk out of the attic, there's immediate stairs. So sleepwalking
Yeah.
me thought, oh yeah, no, there's oh.
For you,
Then
it's like
throw
50%
down.
of the time, it's like you are being very unlucky, but also 50% of the time you are being actively dumb. That's what's happening.
Yeah, but you too.
Yeah, fair, fair. Also, when I shredded all of the skin off my fingers, I needed to ride my bicycle home for 15 kilometers an hour.
That's how you learn to drive without holding your
Yeah, exactly. That was the moment I thought, well, it is time to learn how to ride a bike without hands.
Smart. Life shaken down to its last seed. Its potential is all spent. The heavens and that white blue yonder above, now hard boiled into a permanent blanket of grey that asphyxiates our globe. Imagine brewing a migraine inside a cauldron, and you get an idea. Every breath drawn may as well be sucked from an exhausted pipe. For now, the smolder is only ever broken by swirling voids of superstorms that either drown, freeze, or blaze us to death. The very dirt beneath our feet crushed beyond repair. An arid, blistered vacuum, soil petrified into a pinky parchment. No force of creation pushes through this earth. It's an all in between region in which we dwell. Neither purgatory nor hell. Like I said, I thought it was going to be imagery like that.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah,
feel
it
like
is-
this is where we're headed when it comes to climate change. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Mm,
The dirt beneath our feet is crushed beyond repair.
yeah.
It is an very, very
Dystopian.
elaborate, dystopian, but also so much poetry.
Yeah.
In the first.
Take your pick of what destroyed the world. War, warming, viral concoctions. It doesn't matter how it ended. All that matters is what happened after. The day the ropes fell from the sky. Suspended from the very clouds themselves. Everyone who still could crawled out of their caves to witness the possible miracle. Tribes who had spent their whole lives drawing weapons against the others stood shoulder to shoulder, awe in their eyes and heart. Their bodies, which had been falling apart for so long, became reassembled and recharged as the challenge and the promise that dangled before them. 100,000 of these ropes covered the landscape, stretching as far as vision and light would allow. Each strand swayed with such inviting innocence, and each could bear the weight of an individual who chose to wrap their hands around these threaded necks. The people waited a cautious hour to see if any form of malevolent life would come scurrying down these lines. Invaders from another world, perhaps, ready to enslave? But no such threat arrived. A wind from the east made the army of cords dance in the breeze, and with it a faint whisper seeped in the minds of all, a mental scent. One audible word.
Climb.
Oh.
Lord. Let's climb, boys!
Is that what they're hearing in their head?
Yeah.
I liked the first climb, and then came the rest, and I was like, no, I'm not climbing that.
Climb.
No.
Climb.
All came and heeded the call, even those who had remained in the dead cities, full of dead machines and dead hives. Burned out shells, giant hollow boxes, still smoking and melting like ashtrays, the size of lakes. Each person reacted in a different way to the ropes. Some spared not a thought on the matter, and ran full pelt to the nearest line, wiggling up the thing, one desperate lunge after another.
This story, at least it starts like so objective. It doesn't like follow one person.
It's more starting as like a history lesson.
Yeah.
And I like
but
that.
I'm interested how it's gonna, or if it's gonna change and how
if it's gonna morph
change.
into like more of a personal experience for somebody.
Yeah. Or
maybe
if it's just gonna be like, this is what happened, be scared.
Maybe it's an actual report kind of thing.
That would be interesting.
It would. Ready to escape this reality. They didn't last long. They were the first to fall, the first ones I had to bury. Others took time to study and prepare for their ascent. You were talking about falling off of ropes. You were right.
Yeah.
You would have been one of the first.
Okay, so
I would have also been one of the first, but I would just keep throwing myself down because I thought it would be funny.
Yeah, and I would be like, oh, I can save myself, and then instantly like regret grasping the rope again.
For context, by the way, that was like in preschool or like middle school. We were not doing that when we're adults. That was just kid behavior. Probably both of our ADHD.
Yeah, I was wondering, why doesn't anybody else like instinctively immediately wants to climb a rope?
I just do not have the physical strength. But as a kid I did, and then I would.
Maybe this is the motivation for you to build up the upper body strength.
I'm trying. I actually climbed like the most giant of trees when I was a kid.
Nice.
Like randomly. My parents were scared.
Now I wish I would have met that Yvonne to just climb random trees with.
As a kid.
Yeah.
We would have been one of those kid duos that like we would have been great together. We would have gone like on little adventures like to the woods by ourselves. We would have been one of those like groups of kids that in these stories just get lost and like find someone stalking them. We would find the creature.
Yes. We would become the creature.
You know what we should do?
Well,
once we actually get one of these episodes around like woods or something, we should actually record it in the woods.
In the woods. Okay, that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm up for it.
Either that or we have to go like do a vlog where we actually go to the woods.
We really need to go like in the evening, around night, to the same place where we once saw the maybe stalking person.
Bro, I've been there recently. It was fucked up scary.
Yeah?
Yeah, you would hate it. Are we going there like
so
the both of
horrible.
us, just like with a lantern?
Yeah, just with we need to find an old school like
Dude,
oil
I have
lamp.
to get an actual camera and we'll do stuff like this. I promise you.
That would be cool.
It would be. Maybe we should get into it again. They gathered supplies, extra clothing, and spent hours roughening their hands. That's what you should have done. Upon rocks to build up a protective callus.
Damn, this is so smart.
Yeah,
But I
it's
didn't
giving
have
a
hours.
tutorial to like kid you here. You're just
Damn,
preparing for
that's
gym like
this.
hours. It's like you grab rocks and you're just slicing your hands so
Yeah.
you create callus. The smartest ones knew how to coil the rope around themselves as they
Yeah,
climbed,
this is how you should do it.
granting them a harness in order to rest their arms between exertions. I watched them scaling upwards until their outline was but the size of a flea, blurred against the smoky sky. A dozen or so made it all the way through the low clouds. I call those ones.
The skyscrapers.
But now are fewer and fewer who can reach such a height, and eventually they all fall too. Why do so many climb and risk an uncertain fate? Well, what else was there to do? A trip into the unknown, some form of excitement and adventure was an offer not to be refused. Our species, formerly known as humanity, was circling the drain. It's now only known as the creatures.
The creatures that roamed the earth. In smog-filled plains, driving in those mechanical creatures inside creatures. Okay,
They're right
never mind.
behind
Let's
me,
move
aren't
on.
they?
Right there.
The fact that people are like mass climbing these things out of pure instinct and boredom. I mean, in some way, the ropes kind of brought world peace in this place because they were fighting each other all the time, and now just everybody's just solely focused on climbing the ropes. Maybe we should thank them. I feel like I'm gonna regret that statement later, but maybe we should. You know, who
Thank
knows?
you for a cool exercise.
Right?
Exactly.
They're just trying to make them more agile and stuff.
Yeah, we should just try to find like the most athletic people and breed them in a good way so that we have like more athletic children, and then like.
And so
let
they
them
can climb the ropes.
since birth they will be learning how to climb the rope because that was their destiny.
Because this is a prediction of our future, of course.
Totally.
Was circling the drain. The mundanity of everyday survival was only broken by the spilling of blood. Be that innocent or guilty, we have forgotten ourselves. Reasons had evaporated from the heat of conflict. There is no trust, and barely anyone speaks now. For what really is there even to say? I am one of the few that still cling onto their wits. I am one of the few that still cling onto their wits, who can form thoughts, words, and scripture. As for the others, it would be generous to compare their intelligence with that of a dog, infected with de-evolution they be. That's weird. So they have humans that are still kind of humans, and then we now have humans that literally de-evolved into. I remember.
Climbers.
Yeah, and they all used to just like slash each other, but like we said, they would just kill each other for fun because there was nothing else to do.
Yeah. So
and you
this is
just
like
get off on the drive of everyday survival.
A very dystopian world where everything is like in a horrible condition.
I do like that it paints the picture as like if I was there, I would probably take my chances too and try to climb.
Yeah, of course. What? Why would you try to stay on that earth?
I wouldn't want to.
No, but also it is interesting like how can the place people try to go be better or worse?
We don't know. I mean, at the very least, you'd probably like die in their heads, and that might just be your faith as well down here.
Also salvation.
Yeah, in a way. I remember seeing one such madman take a torch and spend the whole night setting fire to the ropes. When he was done, the sky looked like it was leaking fire. He screamed at the top of his lungs until his voice went hoarse. At dawn's light, he was sitting in a pile of ash, eating the charcoal remains of his victims. What? But his efforts weren't for naught. He barely made a dent in their numbers. They carried on drifting and people carried on climbing. Did he eat the ropes? In a way? Or did he eat the humans that fell down from the ropes?
I don't know. I was also thinking that because in some way, yes, the ropes are the victim of his, because it doesn't say anywhere that the people like fell down.
Exactly.
So he's like eating ash, charcoal remains of like the ropes.
Ooh, we're getting some personalization here. I stayed below to bury the bodies. I was too old to climb anyways, with my fingers being knotted with arthritis and withered down to dry stalks. In my rare dreams I fantasize that I can climb, that I perforate the withered whiteness above, where I am greeted by a specter of stars. I hope they still exist. I choose to cling onto the old faiths that many have since discarded, a belief that the dead should not be left on display. They deserve a ritual and a ceremony of some sort, to pass them over to whatever lies beyond. I make each grave the same, 6 feet long, 4 feet across, and as deep as I am, my loyal shovel can manage.
I was about to say like it isn't very inclusive if you have like one size, but also like 6 feet long and 4 feet across is a lot of space. So everybody.
I mean, he has to
like,
dig it by himself.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Definitely, if he's an old man and he's still able to like carry the bodies.
Yeah, arthritis.
Yeah,
but
that's kind of insane, to be honest.
But also like 6 feet long, like almost everybody is gonna fit. Oh no! Wait.
So you have 6'9" people and stuff like that.
Oh, never mind.
6'5". He just like he lifts their legs up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He makes them lift their legs up a little.
he like well probably they fell down, so they had broken their bones, so he can like pick up their messy body and just
he just like
fit
hopes
them however he wants.
He just like hopes that they land on their heads, so they like shrink a few inches. No, but literally this man, if he has arthritis but he's still able to carry dead bodies to their graves and actually dig that much, I feel like he can climb the ropes. But he's just staying because he's an honorable man who actually cares for the dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's admirable. Admirable. Yeah, I like it. It is a very messy job, and one that I will never ever finish. There are too many fallen for me to cover alone.
Yeah.
On a good day, at full strength, I might prepare 10 fallen corpses for burial,
That's so many.
but have 3 times that number fall by sundown. The animals take whatever I don't get around to. Miracles are a thing of the past, so I wonder how I have escaped being crushed by a fallen angel, like so many others have been. I like naming them falling angels, to be honest.
Yeah. That
cool.
sounds very sweet.
You eventually become numb to the way a body splatters into the ground, seeing everything a person ever was laid out before you in forensic detail. An autopsy that offers a true insight into how fragile a creature we are. Just bags of blood and bones. I do my best to restore what I can for the funerals. Faces are nearly always bludgeoned beyond recognition, but sometimes I can piece together the structure of the nose or the curve of a mouth. The structure of the nose or the curve of a mouth back into proportion. I consider those times a rare blessing. Strangely, their hands are always still intact, somehow shielded from the impact. The palms ablaze, crimson with burns, fingertips scrubbed clean of their markers. The eyes too. They remain, separated from the sockets. Their beauty is even more striking, comparable to the rarest gems and with more sparkle than the sharpest diamonds. Some of the mad ones collected them, trade them, and play marbles with them. Ooh, disgusting beasts. Have they no respect? That's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's but are there like such different sizes that you can try to trade them?
I think it's more of like the color and stuff. Like you
have the green one.
I feel like it would be like, oh, green is really really rare of a eye color. I want to trade that for your blue eyes because I don't have any blue eyes yet in my collection. Oh, your brown eyes have a little bit of hazel in the middle. I like that.
Yeah, you get like the eyeball connoisseurs, which are
like,
oh, this one is very much better than the other one.
I have in some parts of my iris, I actually have little holes, so I have multiple pupils in a way. It's weird. I actually do. I'll show you next time you're here.
Okay, I'm now interested. But also, like you
Jess actually noticed that on the first freaking date. Nobody had ever noticed that before, apart from me. I had never told anybody. He noticed first date and actually looked up what it was.
That's fascinating. That's
It's really
then you know
rare.
it's good.
I know it's good. Once or twice in a month. Some pattern of wind or grace of gravity balance a faller in such a way that they survive their initial plummet towards the earth. A lucky young girl fell from what appeared to be a mile
Yeah.
up. She hit the ground, bounced off it twice like a drop of water, then stood back up and within a few minutes began her climb again, no less determined. She's a true trooper, you know? Get it,
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah. she's
Get
one of
that
the
climbing.
boys.
She's one of the boys.
Yeah. Them boys always be climbing.
Why does she have to be one of the boys in order to climb, man?
She's one of them girls. I don't
Yeah.
know.
She's one of the people.
She's one of the humans.
I'm keeping
is
this in,
she
by the
human,
way.
though?
The creature.
Because they were the creature.
Nothing can shock me anymore. Even the first time I saw a mother start her
Oh.
climb, with her baby
Hello.
strapped to her back, I did not react. The child looked at me, with bright blue peepers that glistened against the dirty rags it was wrapped in. I just picture him being like, "Hey, look, kid, you know how beautiful those eyes are? I'm excited for you to fall down. I wanna check out them
Lady.
peepers." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I could play a good game of golf with you.
Wanna hang out at my place? Yeah, your peepers late at night.
Oh no. The mother had fiery orange hair and bruises upon her face where rosy cheeks should be. Perhaps she was escaping more than just this place. A few days later I found the mother's fallen remains, recognizable only by that fiery hair, now dyed amber from her blood. Strangely,
Oh.
I could not find any evidence of the child's body, nor did I find it in the immediate area.
It climbed
Maybe
on.
she had time.
It was like
Little baby hands climbing
the
up.
baby is like climbing up.
She had the time to secure the child to the rope before she succumbed to her fatigue. Death would be certain either way. My ears sometimes play tricks on me, and I catch the sound of a baby crying from above. It must be the wind, I assure myself. I have a theory. We heard that one of the memorable survivors was a young girl who, she fell off, but she bounced on the floor. Like a drop of water.
Yeah.
Now we find this mother who fell down, but her baby is nowhere in sight. And we might sometimes hear a baby crying. I feel like whatever is up there might just be looking for like the purest souls, but because this world is now so fucked up and they made it like a game of killing each other, that none of the really adult souls are really pure anymore.
Yeah.
A baby
That's-
soul
that's
would be the
interesting.
purest of them all. I think that it would just take that
Yeah.
and then leave the mother because
That's very interesting.
and that's
too.
maybe why the young girl got like a second chance to actually climb.
They were like, you were the chosen one, but you like messed up. So
You get a
just
second
try it again.
chance. Know what I
No,
mean?
but I think that's a very cool idea.
Thank you. The
And
ropes.
and then the pure soul, they will advance to godhood and will create a new world, and I think that would be cool. This is like
You have to rewrite the story. You're gonna use umbilical cords and you're gonna use godhood.
yeah.
Slay. What a slay.
They,
Kai, what a
oh,
slay
what
you
if-
are.
What if like somebody's pregnant,
what a-
but instead of like
Kai,
really being
what a
pregnant,
sly.
at some point,
Sorry.
what? But at some point, like on an umbilical cord, the baby will come like down and then in front of the door of your house, like you open one little door and the
Down.
baby.
Down in the umbilical cord.
Beautiful.
Sorry.
Song. Here.
The ropes did not only lure people to their deaths, they were some opportunities for joy. The few children in our population would use them in an endless number of games, be it tying several together to make a giant swing, testing each other's strength in a tug of war, or cutting away the loose strands to fashion hair braids and primitive jewelry. This is what I meant. I feel like even how fucked up this world is, kids are still kids.
kids.
They're
Yeah.
still innocent, they're still pure. They see these ropes, they do not question it, they do not see it as an opportunity to actually gain something from them. They see it as like, oh, I can play with this. I can actually have some fun here. I can have some innocence kept.
I love it.
I love that. I thought a few of the more interesting children how to thread and knit the material into crude dolls. They've almost become a gadget for these dark times, an object of one's statue. The little ones feel no desire to crime. They are smarter than any of their seniors. That's what I mean as well. I also feel like if this guy would go up, he'd pass, if my theory is right. I feel like he's one of the purer ones. One morning, I decided to take a break from my duty and journey across the open scrublands. No destination in mind, just a wander with my thoughts. There are less ropes out in this section and thus fewer bodies. I try to remember the last time I heard such a true and perfect silence. My mind settles in peace before a blackbird suddenly screams down from above. You can do the noise. Okay, you just cut the mic. You have to do it a little. You're still cutting the mic. Lower your voice. Okay, yeah, like that, and then just screech. Just do. Ah! I did it for you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I also didn't hear. So.
Oh no,
I
but my
think-
mic picked up on it for some reason.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Discord is just screwing me over. The bird scream.
I can see that it's picking up on it because it's not cutting out, I think.
I feel
Imagine
upset.
me just like watching this footage back and it cut. And we're just both struggling.
We are both like being.
Do you think that this entire world is getting covered by dead bodies by now?
Slowly but surely.
Because I feel like at some point maybe the pile will become big enough for people to actually just climb the pile.
Yeah, I don't know for how many years this is going on. But
Or maybe
also-
the bodies are gonna be used to fertilize the grounds again. Like humans have to sacrifice themselves for the earth to
right.
actually revive. I don't
That's
think that's
interesting.
gonna happen, but that's just the theory of mine. Like the people dying and then just being spread around like that because they're spread out so evenly, you know, randomly. It's also like a form of nutrition in a way for the earth. And because we
That's
fucked
cool.
up the earth so much in the story, I think
Now we are
it
getting
might just
back.
be. My mind settles in peace before a blackbird suddenly screams down from above, like we just did, swirls around my head and lands upon a mound of rags. Formerly a person, a few yards away, just another fallen free meal. But as I approach, I see the bird struggling to realize something gripped within one of the body's intact hands.
Oh.
I shoot the beast, away with my walking stick, soak up the pain from my knees as I bend down and prise upon the dead grey fingers. The rigor mortis was strong, but my will was stronger. Oh, the smell of a dead body that's been decomposing.
Yeah.
Like,
but he's
literally, this
used to it
morning-
now.
This morning, Chess actually
You were
asked me to
burying
like...
somebody.
No! This morning, you know I'm a serial killer. I was burying somebody in my backyard. The rigor mortis on that man. No, Chess and I actually got to have our morning together today. And he asked me, hey, can you maybe make me some pork? Because I really want to eat pork for breakfast. So I made him pork. For some reason, it smelled really weird, and I just wanted to throw up merrily from the smell.
Oh god.
It smelled it too, like in my head, what like a dead, decaying human would smell like. He still ate it,
I think.
and he enjoyed
Well,
it. It tasted
it's-
great to him.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's how food safety works, but if he's fine, I guess it's fine.
Yeah, but I was literally gagging from the smell. Like, I
Yeah.
had to go outside. I couldn't finish my morning inside. Like, he had to bring my shoes, my jacket, and, like, my school bag out for me. Because if I set foot in that house, or even in the doorway, I would
Yeah.
gag from the smell.
That's horrible.
But he
I
loved
was
it.
Once... Oh my god. I was once like doing working for a month in Spain, and there it was like 40 degrees outside, and there was like this place where they had like all of their leftovers from vegetables and stuff, and they were fermenting it, and it was a place for the earthworms to like
Earthworms.
earthworms.
I know what you
Earthworms?
mean. I know what you mean. Do you mean
Did it work?
those critters that I also feed to my rats?
No, I just mean like your normal worm, which
Oh,
people
your
use
normal
like, for
worm.
farming. Yeah, like weeps and stuff. Those are worms. No.
Weeps.
Okay, let's go back to
You
the.
just see a bunch of
So,
dweebs just growing out from the
yeah,
ground.
just growing in the fermenting, but in the fermenting soil, and it was fermenting.
And they're like,
and
hey, have you seen the
they
last
have
season of
also-
Naruto? No, I'm not
Yeah,
really a
did you-
Naruto guy. I'm more of a...
You know, the last
Ito.
new episode from One Piece was amazing.
Shut
You
up.
saw-
Shut up, Michael. Nobody cares about One Piece.
What? One Piece is the best. Okay, so but that was the most. I never experienced something that smelled that bad that I instantly wanted to throw up. But my God, I was like, I can't stand this. And like the person who was showing me around was like, "What do you mean it's not that bad?" And he lifted it up, and like this waft came in, and it was like death and decay, and it was like, okay, let's move on. They had like, I don't know what's it called, but they gathered like the poop and the shit from people, their business,
The
and then they
excrements,
used it as
yes.
yeah, they used it on the
Fertilizer.
land to fertilize it.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't smell half as bad as the fermenting stuff.
Yeah, because that's rotting. That's different.
But rot is such a. Oh
It's
my
so
God,
potent. It's so
Yeah. But
intense.
also, like, it has a biological reason that you would want to stay away from it.
Yeah, because if we get near, we can get sick. Or if it's in our water
Yeah.
supply, we can get sick. So we are very sensitive to the smell of rot.
That's the same when somebody's face seems a little bit off.
Oh yeah, it's the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, Uncanny Valley, that's what I was trying to say. But Uncanny Valley, like, it's also like, if a body is decomposing, then you shouldn't come near it. And if you like see its face is like distorted a little bit, it's like, okay, let's not just try and give
I'd
this
go
guy
near it.
CPR. What?
Anyways, Rick and Mortis. There in the
Was so
palm,
strong?
nested like a pearl, was a ball of screwed up dirty paper. Although it was obscured, I could see there was writing on the page. An art form I hadn't seen in years. My curiosity wouldn't stop clawing at me until I picked up the ball and unveiled its message. It was barely legible. Who knows how this person wrote this so high up? While they clinged on for dear life, I read it. And despite the blazing heat, that day my blood ran cold. It read,
Do not climb. I reached the end, and there was nothing.
I showed the message to no one. Mostly wouldn't comprehend it anyways. I tore the paper into pieces, the size of baby spiders. What does this man have with children? Now I'm starting to question it. Because he
tore
keeps
the paper
talking about the
into-
kids specifically.
Yeah. Oh no, which way is this gonna go?
He made the ropes so the adults would climb them and he would be left alone with the kids. It's been right in front of
My
us all this
God.
time.
He invented the ropes. It's like
He
he
invented
spent the
kids.
whole-
Sorry. Into pieces of baby spiders and let the wind dispose of the evidence. It was a few days later before the teeth of the nose tooth took a bite of my spirit. Apparently, some avenue of my mind still held onto the hope that there did in fact exist some form of utopia at the end of the ropes, and even if only one of us reached the top, that would be enough to justify the struggle and my part in the proceedings. A new depression took hold. Not the standard misery that we have all come to suffer on a daily basis. In this afterbirth of an existence, no.
After birth.
This dejection is sharper. It stops me from rising in the mornings, or taking the time to feed and water myself properly. I hide away from the others, and put no effort into my work. When I do happen to dig, the earth seems to fight back at me, refusing to give up any more real estate, for the dead. I hammer at it for hours and hardly scratch the surface. Each rejection runs the wick of my life's candle down even more. Finally, one dark evening, my ankles collapse, and so does my shovel, splitting in two against the rock soil.
Damn.
I crash into the rot and prepare to take in my last conscious thoughts and images. The obvious occurs to me. This will be the last grave I dig. And it turns out to be my own. A manic noise fills the air. It takes me a while to recognize this sound as my own laughter. So long has it been since I have had any use for it. I pray for the mad ones not to take my eyes. Soon after I am weeping, not for my own life, but that of my dead shovel. Pathetically, the only thing I could call a friend in this world. It deserved better. My sight becomes a slowly closing tunnel, and I am gone. But that is a lie. My candle lights anew. I awaken to the noise of soft speaking serrations.
Is this written right?
I don't know. I don't think serrations. I awaken to the noise of soft speaking and serrations. My sight is awash with blurs, but I can just make out two small figures crouching down beside me. I believe they're kids. I bet you it's gonna be kids.
Them kids. Them dang kids.
They can't just leave an old guy dying.
I'm resting over here. Let me sleep.
Their hands busily assembling something. My movements startle the pair and they scatter off. As slowly as the oncoming fog, I raised myself off the ground and rubbed my injured body back to health. One strange scuff after another, I walked towards the objects the figures were playing with. It is my shovel, now repaired, lying on the ground with several lengths of rope fixed around its broken body. It's even tied in a bow, the same way people used to offer each other gifts. I hold it in my arms, stab it in the ground, push down and lift the soil. It works well, if not better than before. I think the ropes were meant to be some sort of salvation of maybe just being a distraction from killing each other, and the kids that are actually playing with it are the actual little angels that are, spreading that message. And because he was deciding to stay and he decided to take care of all the dead, I think that was seen as honorable from whatever there is.
Mm-hmm. Kind of feels like Wall-E. He is like this dead planet he is trying to clean it up as like his only task, and then at some point he dies and it's like, well, now nobody is trying to care over these dead bodies, trying to fix it up. Literally. It's a tragic story.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it. Also the type of writing and stuff, it's great. I'm really invested. I'm fully in.
Same.
Pull out. No, I'm kidding. A giggle echoes.
Excuse you? You should never pull out. I didn't say that.
If you love her, guys, never pull out.
Never pull out. That's the only advice I can give.
You give her all you can.
You will thank me later, and your 15 kids will also thank me later.
A giggle echoes across the wasteland. The children stand at a V formation, watching me like prey. The social reaction to wave might scare them off. So I just nodded gently and smiled with my eyes. They let loose another happy screech and disappeared into the mist. I couldn't hear you.
Did you hear my happy screech?
No, I did not hear.
My god, I tried to be quiet and still...
Yes, beautiful.
That was my happy screech.
An idea sparks in my head. Something new and exciting. Those children. The ones who I thought to make toys and braid from the ropes. That actually learned something from me. They had innocence, yes, but more than innocence. There was once another word to describe such a feeling. They had freedom of thought. And if the note I found is true, then I need a new vocation. From that moment on, I decided to focus my efforts on tending to the living, not the dead. The bodies still fall through the sky like heavy snowflakes, but I ignore them. Whatever happens to them is their choice. But the people below, they are the reality. I commit myself fully to teaching those who I would usually discard. I set up a school of sorts and relay the basics, simple methods of scavenging food, how to seek out clean water, an introduction of the alphabet and numbers. Obviously, some still reject me, even beat me, and climb the ropes regardless. But others do take heed, listen closely, and start to see the possibility of a different, less crushing version of life. I press upon them the need to teach others in the same way, for I will not be here forever. I feel like that one note, that was salvation in a way. Because that one note, I feel like the ropes were needed to get society out of their asses. As in, like, stop them from fighting, stop the brutality that they were in, stop them from destroying each other. And I feel like it's vetting out the actual irrational people and the people who have no compassion anymore. And it's leaving the children and, like, the people that still have their lives ahead of them and might not even know a different reality from the one they're in. And I feel like that one note actually is going to start rebuilding society in some sense. Like, we get to have another chance and another world.
Yeah.
And maybe from all those dead bodies that fertilize the ground, we can also get some beautiful crops growing.
It also feels a little bit reminiscent of the Ark of Noah.
Of Noah, yeah.
Noah, yeah.
Like a cleansing.
Like the cleansing, like you need this suffering to like end, and then from there you can build up a new society or a new world, new land.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's fascinating. It might just be the gift that society actually needed. Weirdly enough.
Gift that keeps on giving.
What fruit will my students bear? The future keeps the answer to that question under lock and key. As is only right. I had never questioned the purpose of the ropes, or what their true meaning, if any, would be. But there was one theory presented to me, in startling fashion, one evening after I had finished my daily sessions and my daily lessons. I saw an old man, somehow even older than me. That's gonna be God. I promise you that's gonna be God. That's gonna be the embodiment of God. No, but I picture him as, like, gonna be, like, old-fashioned and shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, why are the women climbing the ropes too?
They should be here on the ground. Yeah, he's gonna like start talking about how since the war nobody has been a real man.
Maybe he has dementia and he just forgot that he put the ropes there. He's just doing random shit.
He's putting the ropes there.
Why are we already we're already bullying God here? Like, he popped up once, possibly. It's just also a random old guy that's older than he is. And we're straight.
He's minding his own business, like, fucking God, what are you doing here?
We would have climbed the ropes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like it's kind of a message of, like, you can always aim for the sky and aim higher and never be happy with what you have. Or you could just make do with what you have and just accept life as it is and make the best of it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, walking across the wild spread, carrying several large rocks in his silvery arms, my curiosity clawed at me again, and I followed after him. He took the rocks towards one of the far-away ropes, and I watched as he stacked the chunks of sediment flat upon one another, creating a platform. With one last strain, he placed the final rock upon the top of the pile and stood back to size up his creation.
Finally enough,
he said breathlessly. His tower completed, the old man scrambled up from the platform, planting both feet firmly on his new altar. It held his weight, but only just. He then seized the rope in his hands and whipped it into a knot. A horrible knot. An evil, disgusting assembly. It became a founding symbol that was used often by all societies in the final days of peace on this planet. And the hangman's noose drops around the old man's head, and he embraces it the way one would receive a medal. He sees me stalking him, and miniature storm clouds begin brewing in his eyes. Okay, so he's trying to actually unalive himself. Kai.ex has stopped working. Kai, are you still here? Oh no, it's actually...
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Something just went horribly wrong there. Discord just completely crashed, and so did Kai, because of course he's on Discord. So, whoopty fucking do. I don't know how much he heard of the last bit, but this is kind of funny, to be honest. Anyways, it's your time to actually make a sentence.
Okay, I will read this sentence. And you also are gonna cut this sentence. And this sentence I just said, and this sentence I just said.
Okay, yeah, you can start talking.
You hear? You speak?
He barked at me. Sorry. Man just turns into an animal. He's been a beast all along.
He has been de-evolving, you know.
It had been so long since I had heard another person talk so clearly. Such a shame he couldn't have delivered nicer words.
I do both,
I replied with a fixed scorn. He nodded, and then let a river of words spill from his mouth.
These ropes were not intended as an invitation to rise. They were instruments for mercy killings.
Oh my goodness.
Painless euthanasia. What?
Okay, no, I'm putting the pieces together now. That's horrible. Okay.
Yeah,
no, you can read it again, sorry.
Painless euthanasia. Directly from the heavens.
Sorry, I had to cry. I'm sorry.
Okay,
that's the one word I know. The one word I can pronounce.
Like all these words you have been mispronouncing. I didn't say anything about it.
Listen, I can pronounce one word, and it's for some reason fucking euthanasia.
Euthanasia.
So, like, if I ever go to England or something, I can't get anything except for euthanasia.
Yeah. Is that allowed?
Imagine me now saying it wrong like 50 times again. Yeah, and then people are just gonna be ripping on me in the comments.
Yeah, but also, like, don't add me.
I will add you in the description.
Painless euthanasia. Directly from the heavens above. A blessing, if you like. By what force or direction, I do not know. Even those who peek beyond the veil of clouds cannot tell us when, and only when your soul has left your body can you truly climb. Your physical self must stay below. We are too dangerous an animal to ascend in any other way. And unlike gods, we must learn to die for our creation.
With this sermon completed, he jumped from the rocks and ended his life. Oh. It neither looked merciful or painless, and I saw no evidence of a spirit leaving his body. So I can only conclude this presumption was wrong. But then, we have all been wrong here before. I did not cut him down. Let him hang for this, cause if he must, and if others follow, then that is also what they must do. I, however, stand strong in defense of our new terra firma. The lessons continue to go well, and we had our first gathering recently. Everyone brought an offering to contribute to the meal. It would be a pitiful hill of beans when mirrored against the old world standards, but that can only be a good thing. The event was more humble, more aligned to the spirit of the good intentions. The cost was proportional. For a race who once suffered in abundance, we have quickly learned to thrive through deficiency. I take a deep breath, and somehow the air tastes a tiny bit cleaner. The screams of the falling people grow quieter by the day, replaced instead by new songs and laughter, which rise up from our land below in glorious harmony. All credit for this story goes to Alex Blackwood, And we got it from CreepyPasta.com, and we'll put the links to it in the description, just as well as Kai's links.
Alex Blackwood. The Blackwood is one of the greatest
Yeah, it's definitely on
names
my...
ever.
Yeah.
Blackwood, nice.
I have
This
a
was
lot to
great
say
story.
about the story. Like, I have a lot of theories and interpretations. Do you want to
Bring 'em.
delve into it immediately, or do you want to talk about how great the story was first?
Well, firstly, I think we can like go for that one. I found this a very interesting story. It had such a different way in which it was written, but it fitted the bill very good. And I think it has some very interesting the way it like handles the subject matter. It's very interesting. It's like what you were saying, like but it's like, do you want to stay here grounded and try to make with what you have, make it just work?
Yeah, I
Or are
have
you
a lot
trying
to say
like-
about that, like I said.
Yeah, but it's very interesting, and I also liked the way, how I thought of it as like this new beginning by the suffering of all of those which were only contributing to war and this crazy world.
Yeah,
This was amazing.
I have to say, I have nothing bad to say for once.
Wow.
Imagine that. I have no criticisms of this one. None
No,
at all.
only on how I pronounced youth needs.
That was a criticism of you.
Yeah.
That wasn't a criticism of the
Euthanasia.
story. You know, I am gonna cut out every single word I pronounced wrong and just like re-say them in the mic, and then like plant them over the over the podcast to pretend I actually did all of them right. And then for you, I'm just gonna zoom into your one mistake.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds amazing. I was almost twitching every time. No. Okay, now I'm just derailing this. I'm sorry. You were doing great. You were being a fantastic reader.
I'm being so sweet to you as well. I'm being so incredibly nice
I
and just
immediately regretted like
such a good
saying
friend.
this mean stuff, and you were like, "No, I'm just gonna make you look more bad."
You regretted saying mean stuff? What mean stuff did you say?
Or I was about to say like being like, "Well, how many times did you mispronounce all these words?"
Listen, I have an excuse. You want to
Yeah,
hear
I
it?
know.
You want to hear it?
Well,
You want to hear me be
well,
like that? You want to hear me make a freaking point out of it?
listen.
'Cause I hate it when people do
have
that. But to be honest, listen, like I said, with these podcasts, I actually started doing them to improve on my reading skills because I never freaking read. I have like dyslexia, a very rough form of the dyslexia, on like speaking and hearing and reading. All of it. Like my brain just can't process words properly. And then I also have ADHD, and it just kind of adds to this amalgamation. But I never really thought that would be an excuse to stop reading. So I use these podcasts to actually better my own reading skills and actually get into reading more and activate my brain. And it's helping.
Really coming along well.
Thank you. But that still did not give me a reason to bash you for that one thing you said. And I was not being serious about that one as well. I was just very proud that for once I knew how to like pronounce a hard word. Because, you know, I listened to so many true crime stories and stuff. This was one of the only words I knew. Like, for once I could like say it to you. I wanted to be like that. I wanted to, you know?
Yeah, you were like, I know something.
Yeah, it was more coming from like that place. It was not malicious intent.
No, valid, of course.
And it's also...
Do you want me to try to tell you when you are mispronouncing stuff, or is that...
No, you can actually... Now that I'm actually editing, I'm gonna leave this conversation in, by the way, because I think it's important for people to actually see that you can like have healthy conversations about stuff like this without, you know, taking it personally and stuff like that. So...
No, because of course this isn't like... Nothing of this is an attack on each other.
No,
It's
absolutely
just, like,
not,
all
and I'm
good
not
fun and
not at all
also-
taking it as an attack. So I'm also gonna answer honestly, and if I am indeed pronouncing a word wrong, and normally you can also see that I am like, don't nitpick, if you know what I mean. But if I'm actually having trouble pronouncing a word, or like it's not I can cut the piece out where I'm struggling, and if you say it and I can repeat it, then it's much easier for me. Also, like when editing too.
But I won't be like, okay, where is a word that we can mispronounce? But I don't know. It's like it's not hives. It's hives.
Yeah, no, that's don't be like that. But like
No.
whenever I'm having trouble with a
It's
word,
Leviosa,
like
not Leviosa.
I would run. No, but like smolder or discolored.
Yeah.
If I would say those wrong, you know how to say them, just tell me. And sometimes in my mind, you just like hear me stuttering. I actually, when you say it, I can mirror you, but my brain can't form it themselves. Like I can hear you pronounce it, and then I can mimic it. But sometimes I just need that.
At some point, I was also thinking like, if I was gonna be reading this, I obviously also would have more trouble with pronouncing everything.
It's a lot of words.
Your mind, it's so easy to like
be like, oh yeah, no, you say it like that.
In your mind, because in your mind, it's so easy, but now it's like, okay, now you need to.
Yeah, your mouth just like does it differently. But sometimes I like mirroring you, so indeed, if I can pronounce a word and I get to mirror you, that would be great. And indeed, because now we can actually cut stuff from this, it's not bad if you actually interrupt me and be like, hey, when I do that one over, it's actually this, and then I'm
gonna be like, hey, what are you doing? This is so unbelievably
You
wrong.
just get into the camera and you just scream in my face, how dare you! Get your ass back!
I'm gonna get one of those storyboard things they use in movies, like those to cut or like start a like scene 2 of saying this.
You know what we should do? We should get a cardboard cutout of of me looking scary and then place it behind you, so we can also like make your background more more and then place another cardboard cutout of you next to it, also looking scary. God. And for some reason we just both look like we've killed someone. But
I hate it. Yes, please.
I know, it's great, right? But like behind you specifically, because we can't make it work with my background, but your background is perfect for that stuff.
Yeah, but also I think I can place. You can place the cardboard cutout of me like behind the TV.
But then we can't see it.
So, then it's like just around the corner you can see my figure, so. And you are gonna be like right here, like, or here.
I'll just be present. That's great.
Oh my god. Every time I would get over.
You wanna hear my imagine theories. You for like finally getting to bring a girl over to your house, and you just have to be like, oh, don't mind the giant cutout of that lady over there. Yeah. That's just one of my best friends. Don't worry about it. She scares me during the night.
Yeah, every time I wake up and I look around in my room, I shit myself.
Whenever I try to go pee during the night and I have to get out of bed, I fight her. That's what the many holes are for.
Yeah, every time I walk to the toilet because I need to go pee, I find her in a different place in my room, and
she keeps moving. She might be possessed. Anyways, do you want to sleep on the left side or the right side of the bed? Maybe cuddle, you know? Yeah. And then like you put her to bed, but like you stand up in your nighttime routine, you walk over and you specifically place the cardboard cutout of me looking at her. You're like, oh, one more thing. Yeah, now it's perfect. And then you walk over to her.
My god. I hate it, but I love it.
Same. You want to hear my theories about the stories? Theory? Okay, yeah. I think I have put like a lot of different stuff together. Like I think I was sorta in the right area when I was like, oh, people are gonna think it's like heaven, but it's not. They get disappointed. Yeah. Now the disappointment was basically there's nothing.
Yeah.
What I feel like the ropes were sent for is interpretation, like up for interpretation by the people that use them. I think the greedy people or the striving people or the people that would indeed fight each other, they would see it as a competition or a way of salvation, or they would want to have more in life, and they would climb
Yeah.
them because nothing is ever good enough for them. So they don't want to sit in their own rut, in their own misery, and they want to escape their problems, not take responsibility, and climb the rope, effectively taking them out of this world.
Like removing them from the equation.
Yeah, because they don't survive. Then you have the very depressed people, the people that don't want to even try to change their conditions. They interpret it as a way to actually end their own misery willfully. So it's also to take themselves out. And then you have the pure souls and the kind souls, like the children or this man. They don't take the ropes as really anything. The ropes can be whatever they want it to be, whatever they need it to be. It can be made into a doll. It can be a jump rope. It can be a toy. It can dance with you. It can be used for whatever purpose you seem fit. Whatever those people do, they do. That's none of our business. People are free to do whatever they want to do. Whatever I do, that's on me. And they actually they're able to let the ropes go. They're not obliging to the whisper of climb. And they actually try and bring salvation in their own way. They actually try to save the planet, save the world in their own way. They're starting anew, but without all of the toxicity that came. I indeed like the cleansing. I feel like it's kind of indeed like the Ark of Noah, where it is a cleansing that's happening, like a rapture in a way. Maybe this is the rapture, but it's just not what we had expected it as the rapture. Like maybe we had brought upon us like our own demise, and the world needed to be rid of the people that caused it in order for the people that are actually clean and want to rebuild it.
It is also fascinating that this rapture, it isn't like, oh, everybody is shut down instantly and now.
Yeah, I feel like this is more interesting because you still have a choice.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You still have the choice, do you partake or not?
It's literally telling of the person you are, or whether or not. And I've always had this image of like religion as, I think if you live a good life, you still get to go to heaven, even if you may have not, believed. This is controversial.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna rephrase that differently. I feel like this is kind of like, oh, you don't immediately just get scolded for anything you've done or locked out. But you get to actually make a choice. And whatever you, like, behavior you exhibit already, you're gonna choose in that way. And so the rotten take themselves out. And what's left can actually start pure. And that's why I was saying, like, the dead bodies are at some point actually gonna, like, give the earth nutrition again. Plants are gonna start growing. We heard at the end, at the beginning it was like there's no sun that ever shone out on us, no shimmers, only dark and grey skies. I believe at the end of the story we actually heard from, like, about the more bluer skies. Remember that? And they were actually farming berries and flowers and other plants, and they actually were able to farm and make a whole dinner together. So I feel like the planet is healing at the cost of the people that actually caused its misery.
Yeah, and also like this old guy, this old spirit that tries to get the new generation to take those steps and to be prepared for preparing the world.
Yeah, like take responsibility for your creation. Because what the old man said as well, the older old man.
The old man. I don't think it's God like you predicted.
Huh?
I don't think it's God like.
No, I don't think it's God. Oh, someone's coming in with a rat. Hello, it's rat time. She's shaking up the camera. She's so hyped. Hello, little baby, little appa. We're discussing things about life or death right now.
Then I'll take her away. Have fun.
Oh, I'll have a lot of fun in this. Anyways, I'm
Why
kidding.
did it sound so suggestive?
It says when and only when your soul has truly left your body, you can truly climb. I feel like that's suggesting also the people that were climbing already lost their souls in a way. I feel like it's symbolic of like them losing their humanity. We are too dangerous an animal to ascend in any other way. The people were trying to ascend, but they couldn't because they were acting like animals. And we must learn to die for our creation. And I feel like that's what they were all doing, instead of what the other people were doing. And him saying it's a blessing, if you like. I feel like it's a blessing for the people that are left.
Oh, right. So you don't have like all of these people trying to fuck up the world,
Yes.
essentially.
Yes.
You are doing the people a favor by climbing the ropes
Yeah.
down.
I feel like it's... do you agree with my theory here, or...
Yeah, I think so. I think it's hard to have like a definitive.
Because also like the way that this man describes the knot, for that guy, the old guy, the knot was actually his salvation, and he saw it as the right thing to do. But then we read from our perspective, and it says a horrible knot, an evil, disgusting assembly. You know that he does not feel like that at all. Like,
No, he was he was trying to like do his thing. He planned for like I don't know how long.
Yeah.
But he had been gathering all those rocks for a long time. Like all of the time, he was like mindful of what he was doing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very mindful, very demure.
Very demure.
Anyways, I think that was
Reflecting
all
of
for
words
this
that you
episode. I hope
have
you
fun.
all have an amazing evening, just like we will. Kai, I hope I get to see you tomorrow.
Well, I will see you tomorrow.
I will see you tomorrow. And I wish you all a great day. An amazing life
Goodbye.
even. I hope to see you in the next video. But if not, that's also fine. Please like and subscribe. It would mean the world to us. And take care of yourself, because you need it.